What's up YouTube? This is going to be your guide on how to use Entei in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be providing competitive movesets and some fun me movesets too. If there's a Pokemon you'd like to see me cover, put it below in the comment section. If you enjoy these, they help you out, drop a like, and let's get into it. So, our first set we're going to look at here is going to be a Choice Band set, or I just call it Temu Arceus because it's kind of the same as Arceus. So we've got the stats here. Looking at its highest, it's its attack and its speed. It's also got a nice health stat too, and reasonable defenses. It's a mono fire type Pokemon that has two abilities, Pressure and Inner Focus. Inner Focus probably being the best one because it is immune to Intimidate and it can't be flinched, which makes it quite a nice Pokemon. Pressure is, I mean, it's an okay ability, but this is just much better in most cases. This is going to be more of a physical sweeper for sure. So our first set is max attack and max speed, adamant nature. I gave it absolutely everything in attack so you can make use of extreme speed. So it's got Terra Normal and extreme speed, which works well on quite a few Pokemon, especially this one. We got its main physical fire move, which is Sacred Fire. Good accuracy, except for like 5%, but still pretty good. And you got a 50% chance to land a burn on the target, which is really, really good. So that's a high chance. I run Stone Edge on there, so any flying type Pokemon, it's pretty good for that. And Crunch for any bulky ghost type Pokemon and any psychic types as well. But definitely bulky ghost types because you can keep using it and you might be able to get a defense drop. Choice Band is definitely a nice item on there because you can just spam extreme speed Terra Normal, which works pretty nicely as well. And this can work in singles and doubles. Some other options you could have, if you don't want to lock yourself in, you could do Silk Scarf. That could work. That way you could use some other moves and it wouldn't lock you in as much. If you're really, really worried about missing any moves, you could pop on Wide Lens there. That would give Sacred Fire over 100% accuracy and sort of make Stone Edge, 88% accuracy. So that could be an option. You could pop on Assault Vest if you want to. That could work for sure. You could do like a berry on there, like a Shuka Berry, or maybe a Pasho Berry, then go for the Terra. There are possibilities. You could have normal gem on there too if you wanted to like for a one-off power, but I feel like Silk Scarf would be better, or Choice Band would be better than normal gem. But yeah, they're probably the options you could go for. You could do Choice Scarf as well. But I think Band's better because you've got extreme speed, which is quite spammable with the Terra Normal. So I would go for that. That's probably the best one you could do. As for other Terras, you could do something like, let's say, Terra Blast Grass. That could work. It would be good against any ground type Pokemon. So that could be somewhat useful. And water type Pokemon. You know, rock type Pokemon, stuff like that. That might be something else you could go for. However, you know, extreme speed isn't going to be as powerful then. So there is that. Just to kind of think about there. I feel like normal and grass are probably the best ones you could do on it. If you've got any other ones, let me know. But I feel like they're the best. Let's have a look at a more speedier Entei set now. So our next set here is going to be a Trailblaze set. So this one's probably more geared towards singles, was the first one you could use in doubles and singles, or whatever sort of like format you like. So we've got our same EVs, max attack and max speed, Adamant Nature. Hits pretty good speed and attack there. Trailblaze is going to be nice for any water or ground rock Pokemon. It also boosts your speed. You've got Sacred Fire on there as a nice physical fire type move, extreme speed, and Stone Edge. So similar sort of set, but I do have Terra Grass on there. So just giving it some immunity to those water type moves and rock type moves and stuff like that. Or you could still do Terra Normal on this set for extreme speed too. There's absolutely no reason why you couldn't do that. Inner Focus again would be fine, and I gave it Heavy Duty Boots. That's not bad for singles. being just a mono fire type, that could be useful because you're not going to take any entry hazard damage, and it's quite weak to stealth rock. So that's another item that you could possibly run on there too. You might be able to run air balloon on there too. I'm just trying to think of some other items. You could do air balloon on there. That could be useful. So then you could at least swap it into a ground move once, maybe. You could do life orb for even more damage. So you could go life orb, or you could do like Terra normal life orb. That could work. That could be rather nice. It does have 1.3, or as I said before, you could just use Silk Scarf for 1.2 and not take any damage at all. So that could be another option too. So just two ways of running Entei with Trailblaze. Difference with this set is you don't have to rely so much on extreme speed, because you can still outspeed things after a +1. But with this set, you're sort of relying on spammable extreme speed. So you got to make sure you get all those ghost types out of the way, steel types, and stuff like that, or real bulky defensive Pokemon. So that's sort of difference between these two sets here. Let's check out some doubles, VGC style. Okay, here's our next set here for doubles. Now, the next regulation just got announced. So it was Regulation I. So I'm going to be covering all the rest of the legendaries this month too, just so just so I can get through them and stuff. If you've got any more suggestions of legendaries you'd like to see, put them below. This is Extreme Speed, Sacred Fire, Stomping Tantrum, which is not too bad. Gives you a ground type singular target, which is pretty good. And you've got Protect as well. So Protect is going to be useful with the scouting moves. Terra Normal, Extreme Speed, Life Orb. So Silk Scarf, Life Orb could definitely work with that for sure. Absolutely. I was thinking about Weakness Policy as well. That might be somewhat useful. And then you could spam it. But maybe you'd have to adjust your EVs a bit more for speed. That's what I was thinking. You might have to mesh your EVs around a little bit, so maybe lessen speed, or you could even do a full 252 and then weakness policy. That could be another option too. If you want to try weakness policy, that could work. So there are a couple of options there. Inner Focus, Terra Normal, or you could do Terra Ground or Terra Fire if you wanted to. But just Extreme Speed is so spammable on this Pokemon. It's quite good. So it works very well. It's like sort of like Dragonite, I guess you could say, but probably not as good as Dragonite, but still a pretty damn good, extreme speed user for sure. Very, very dangerous. It has a good attack stat, and it's only with Terra Normal you only got 1 weakness then, so it's pretty good. Plus, with Fire, being a Fire type, you won't get burned by Will-O-Wisp and stuff. Not unless, of course, you Terra and stuff. So that's definitely another good thing that you could try on this Pokemon. You could try maybe Terra. I was thinking maybe Terra Water as another option. Just flicking back to when I was talking about Terras, you could go for Terra Water. That's another option. So you might be able to hit other fire type Pokemon, ground type, and rock types too. So that could be an option. Just while I was thinking about that on my mind. So this set's kind of similar EVs, attack and speed. I don't think you'd have to do much else than that for sure. Maybe, like as I said, maybe you could go for some extra bulk on there. I'm trying to think it would be even worth it though. It really would even be worth it. I think it maybe 252 maybe, or how about you could drop it back. So maybe let's do like 200 and then 56 in health. Your speed's sort of low then, but you're using extreme speed a lot and you've got a little bit of extra bulk. So that would probably be something for weakness policy. And with that 200 and base speed, you're still going to outspeed some slower Pokemon still with your other 3 moves. So that could be an option if you want to go for pure bulk. Or if you want to go like crazy pure bulk and just completely and utterly rely on extreme speed, you could do that as well. But I think it would be a bit of a waste if you didn't get a weakness policy. So compared to like a speedy set. So yeah, sort of up to you there what you feel like you need on your team. Let's check out the next one here. So our next set is more of a mix kind of set. So it is a bulky set for sure. And I wanted to have a touch on its special side too, because it actually does get Snarl. So we've got Extreme Speed still on there. So I've got Terra Grass. You could do Terra Grass as more of a defensive type. Terra Grass, Sacred Fire, Bulldoze. It actually gets Bulldoze as well. So you might be able to couple that up with a teammate. And then you've got Bulldoze and Snarl. So you've got a way of dropping the opponent's speed and the way of dropping the opponent's special attack too. And with max health and max attack, you've got some really nice bulk. And then with Assault Vest, it's very, very tanky on the special side, which is good. And it's got a little bit more in defense, so that's going to make it pretty bulky all-round, tanky hits. You know, finishing Pokemon off with extreme speed, spreading burns, dropping speed, and special attack. So, you know, you get some pretty good use out of that. I put pressure on here. You could do that, or Inner Focus. Inner Focus probably still might be a bit better because of its... I mean, not being able to flinch is quite a big thing too, and immunity to Intimidate is very, very handy at the same time too. So, but you could put pressure on there to try and, you know, drop the opponent's PP on those lower, more powerful moves. So that could be maybe be a thing too. So that's another double set. Let's check out another one. So our next set here is going to be a special set. Now you might laugh at this, but it still is. It's pretty decent, in my opinion, for a special attacker. And if you power this up with, let's say, a Torkoal or a Ninetales or a Groudon, this could be pretty good. So we've got Eruption, which it does get, which is a powerful special move. So we've got max special attack and max speed, Modest Nature, trying to get the most out of that. So max speed gives it a pretty nice, at a base 100, it's a pretty nice speed stat. And if you add something like maybe Tailwind up, like a Tailwind use like, say, Tornadus or, you know, anything along those lines, it's going to be really, really good and going first. It also gets Snarl, so you can drop opponent's special attack, but it might be a little bit too gimmicky with Eruption. Or maybe, let's say, you take some damage and then you think, oh, well, I'm not going to use Eruption, but I could use Snarl, boost my special attack, and then go Fire Blast at a singular target. So that could also work as well. With the Sun Up, you can take advantage of Solar Beam too. So Solar Beam can hit water types, rock types, and ground types are super effective. So that, you know, that's a lot of Entei's weaknesses there. And, you know, it's a very, very powerful move at 120 base. So that would make a nice, very, very nice special attacker. Alternatively, you could go Choice Scarf. Oh, the Terror I put as fire as well, by the way. Alternatively, you could go that, but I would definitely get rid of Solar Beam there. It doesn't really have as much as you'd probably like on there. Oh, damn. Maybe you could give it Weather Ball, but that'd be so many... You might be able to give it Weather Ball or Shadow Ball or Scorching Sand. Let's go Scorching Sands. So Scorching Sands for opposing fire-type Pokemon. And then we got Eruption Spam. So you could give that one a go for sure in the sun. And it hit, you know, hits pretty hard for sure off that Modest Nature with max special attack. So just another idea to go with Entei. Or another one, if you had Tailwind support, you just go Specs. I reckon Specs would be nice too. Like Specs Eruption. That'd be pretty good too. And you could use the same moves. Definitely a Tailwind Pokemon would be nice, or maybe a Speedy After You Pokemon like Morsoul could work, and then you could go like first and Spam or after user and go Eruption. So that could be another good idea too. I'm trying to think of some other things. You could do Life Orb on there, but Life Orb doesn't go very well with Eruption. You might have to start using Fire Blast after, you know, using it once or something like that. So just some options there for Entei. I'm going to mention some teammates and some counters and stuff in a bit. But mostly this is a physical attacking Pokemon, but it can be a surprise special attack. It's not bad or anything. It's just not as good as the physical one is what I'm trying to say. All right, let's have a look at a PIMPNITE special. Okay, here we go. So we got another Sunset. And it is a special set as well. So we have got Sunny Day and Weather Ball combination. We got Charcoal. Oh, that actually wouldn't be bad on this double set too. Charcoal. Just thought I'd mention that. So Charcoal gives you a 1.2 times boost for fire type attack. So that could work nice on any fire type move. You know, Sacred Fire, Fire Blast, Eruption, even Flare Blitz if you wanted to. use Flare Blitz. Like, I mean, Flare Blitz is an option too, but it doesn't have that burn capacity, and you take recoil too, so it's probably not as good as Sacred Fire in my opinion. So Sunny Day, Weather Ball, Solar Beam, and Scorching Dance, very, very similar to the set that I just looked at there, except we're sort of setting our own sun up. But if once again, if you had another Pokemon with Drought, you could definitely do that at the same time, and then maybe free a slot up there for another move. Maybe Fire Blast or something like that. Max Speed and Max Special Attack, Modest Nature on this Entei for PIMPNITE Special. And we've got Terra Fire. So there you have it. There's some sets. Let's have a look at some teammates and stuff like that. So a good teammate for Entei, whether you're playing singles or doubles or whatever, I'd say Chien-Pao, because especially in doubles when you got sort of Ruin happening, that is actually going to help a lot. It's going to help this extreme speed set a lot, because like if you just imagine if you're spamming Terra Normal extreme speed, right, and then you've got Chien-Pao there too with sort of Ruin, it's going to do lots of damage. So it's going to be absolutely awesome. So, and this also gets around a lot of its counters too. So, you know, ground type Pokemon and such like that. So that's going to be a good partner. Another one I'm thinking would be Miraidon. Miraidon would be good. For obvious reasons, getting rid of those water type Pokemon. Miraidon's very good. How about... I think a good one would be Raging Bolt too. I'm just thinking of its counters and stuff like that. So it's obviously countered by water type Pokemon, bulky water type Pokemon. So Raging Bolt's going to be good there. And of course, it's got a priority electric move too. So that's going to be good at getting around a few of those counters too. And Iron Hands, that's another good one. Iron Hands works well. Also very bulky as well. So that's another good partner for Entei that gets around a lot of stuff. Flutter Mane's good as well. That's good on every team. Urshifu Rapid's pretty good. That's going to be kind of nice as well. You could have... you could have Whimsicott. I was thinking Whimsicott wouldn't be bad as Tailwind support with it. Plus, it's also grass, so you know, if you've got a grass move on it, say like Energy Ball or something like that, you could get around those grass and rock types pretty well. I have done a Whimsicott guide if you want to check that out. So that's some partners. There's quite a few Pokemon that could actually work well with this. Oh, another one would be Ogerpon as well. Just normal Ogerpon. That would be good. You know, getting around its singles or doubles, that would be very, very good. And some other good one. Maybe Dragonite as well. That would make a good physical attacker alongside this, because it's flying type, and you know, you might be able to set up some Dragon Dances. You could have two possible Pokemon for, you know, extreme speed Terra Normal as well. So that, yeah, that definitely couldn't hurt, right? They're both very, very good at that role there. So a Pokemon that can get around Entei pretty easily, probably the best one, I would say. I was just thinking Urshifu Rapid. Now, Urshifu Rapid has got Surging Strikes and Fighting type moves as well, so that's like made to get around it. Plus, its base stats, it's got 100 base and defense and 100 in health, so it's going to be able to get around Entei, absolutely. I've done Urshifu guide already if you want to check that one out. So, like, say close combat, it's got Surging Strikes for normally, and it's got close combat when it goes Terra Normal, so it's got it beat. Plus, it's got enough defensive bulk and stuff like that too. So, yes, it's going to be able to get around that pretty nicely for sure. I'd say that's the best counter. Any water-type Pokemon is going to have, like... I was going to say Alomomola isn't too bad. Alomomola can just, you know, sponge all those attacks. Suicune, just thinking of some more... like real bulky defensive walls can, you know, tank that and hit back pretty hard. Any ghost type Pokemon too can get around. Oh, no, I was gonna say not Goldenga, probably Dragapult. That could get around it fairly well, except for Crunch. You would have difficulties using Crunch, but you could have the ghost type to swap in for extreme speed, or a ghost type would be, you know, quite handy for that. Definitely. If there's any more, I'll may as well just have a look now. So anything Annihilate, that would be pretty good too. So I'd say Annihilate. And Annihilate has got Drain Punch too, so that would be a good counter for it. He wouldn't be able to use Rage Fist, though, once it's Terra Normal, but, Drain Punch is still going to be pretty good. So that could get around it nicely, too. Once again, we'll have to watch out for Crunch, But the thing is, when it locks itself into Choice Band Extreme Speed, these aren't too bad either. So there's some teammates and stuff like that. I'm trying to think of some other ones for you all for this. We've gone over... some Terra types. I'm just thinking if there's any other good ones than Normal and Grass. Fairy might be like a good defensive one, but it's not really bringing much to the table at all, so probably not. Oh, another counter I forgot to mention as well would be Landorus. Yeah, definitely Landorus. That would be a good counter too, being a ground type. It would have to watch out for that for sure. So that's a good one. Let's have a look at Entei's moves now. Just anything we've missed. Okay, so here's its special moves. Sorry, its status moves. It does get agility. That could be an option maybe. Agility and 3 attacking moves, but a lot of the time it does run extreme speed. You probably don't need to do that. It does get Calm Mind on the special side, so that's something to think about with those special sets I was looking at before. Protect, Rest, Roar. It does get Roar. Sleep Talk. It actually gets Will-O-Wisp too, but no one's going to run Will-O-Wisp if you've got, attack a Sacred Fire. It does have Helping Hand if you want to make like a bulky set. Possibly, and it actually learns Rain Dance, which is kind of weird why it learns Rain Dance, being a fire type. It gets Sunny Day too. So, it does get Swagger. So you can do a Mirror Herb set. I don't think it gets Sword Dance, so you might be able to... No, it doesn't get Sword Dance. This is actually a good set. You can try. It's a little gimmicky, but it could work. Just while I'm here. So we've got Swagger to boost up your attacks 2 stages with the Mirror Herb combination. So you can fuse them. They get a +2 in attack. Mirror Herb activates, and you get the same stat boost as they got. Obviously, you don't get confused. And then you could put like E-Speed and, Sacred Fire, those sort of Stone Mist and those sort of things there. So that would be pretty good. And you could go like Terra Normal if you wanted to. That could absolutely work. Definitely. And +2 extreme speed is going to hurt. It's definitely going to hurt. And also, you're not locked into one move too. So that's actually not a bad set for sure. Because you could just do it on, say you do it on more of a passive Pokemon or a special attacker. You won't have any like negative effects rather than doing it on a physical attacker, right? So that could definitely work for sure. I could really see that one working. That may not even be that gimmicky, actually. That's its status moves. We had a quick look at them. Let's have a look at its Fizz moves. So we've got Body Slam. You could put that on there for Terra Normal, but you don't have that priority, and it's not that great a base power anyway, so probably not. Crunch is good for Ghost types. Double Edge might be able to work for Choice Band. You'd be taking a lot of recall. E-Speed, obviously. Facade. Maybe a Toxic Orb and Facade could be possible, or a Flame Orb. Interesting. That could. But then again, you'd only be able to use Facade then. You wouldn't be able to use your other moves without that attack drop. So you might have to use Toxic Orb or something like that. I don't know. Another option there. It does get Fire Fang, Flame Charge. They're not going to be used. Flare Blitz is an option if you want a bit more power over Sacred Fire. That actually is an option. It does get Iron Head, which is good for Rock-type Pokemon and Fairies, but mainly Rock types. It does get Trailblaze as only real grass move and Stomping Tantrum and stuff like that. There's not too much else it gets there on the physical side. Quite a limited Pokemon, really. And then the special side, I showed you guys this pretty much all before. But it does get Eruption, which isn't a bad move in doubles or singles. You might be able to work it with some other Pokemon, like, say, Ninetales and Groudon and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. A pretty closed book, Entei. It's very, very good at Terra Normal Extreme Speed. That's where it really shines, and it has its overall good bulk to do that. And even if you're not running Choice Band, you can do stuff like Assault Vest as well, just for extra bulk. And you can do surprises with like Terra Grass with Terra Blast too. So definitely a good Pokemon. I can see getting used a fair bit. Next time we'll do I think we'll do Suicune and Raikou. We may as well finish the trio off. Anyway, people, if you enjoyed that, if you found it helpful and insightful, drop a like. If there's a Pokemon you want to see me cover, put it below in the comment section, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.